You are amazing, you are beautiful, but have you had water today? That's what I am asking of you, but I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate that for me. You know, that one girl in the Midwest that we let on that list, she is ready, and we are ready for her. Listen, emotions are running high, okay? I am slightly unhinged at all times. That's just the way I live my life. And really, it just keeps me and everybody around me on their toes. So, hello friends, and welcome back, or welcome for the first time if you are new here. My name is Lori Beth, and today we are doing a very exciting unboxing video. Again, for the month of March, I got all of the subscription boxes that I have a subscription to, and today I am going to share those boxes with you. So with that being said, these are spoilers for the month of March for Illumicrate, Owlcrate Adult, and Fairyloot Adult and YA, because I do have a combo subscription through Fairyloot. I am going to do this unboxing similar to the one I did for the month of February. I am going to open the box on camera and we are going to unwrap the book together. I am going to read whatever the theme for that book subscription was for the month of March, and then also the synopsis of the book, and kind of give you my thoughts and opinions on the synopsis of the book, and also along the way maybe some thoughts and feelings I have on subscription services in general. So without further ado, I think we should go ahead and start with our very first box. All right, first up for this video, I think we are going to do Owlcrate this time. Owlcrate is actually the very first subscription that I ever became a part of. At the time, there was no wait list when I signed up for the subscription box, which was one of the reasons I jumped on it, because I just wanted to have the experience of being on a subscription box and kind of get that excitement of receiving something on a monthly basis in the mail. And I'm telling you what, I was not disappointed. I have never been disappointed in what Owlcrate has done before. I always love their picks for the month, and I also like what they do, the artists that they pick for their cover art, and what they do with the rest of the book as well. So let's go ahead and crack open this book. Remember, these are spoilers. Like, if you get these books yourself and you have not personally received them, I am going to display and show the entire book and the synopsis of that book. So if you don't want to see that,
this video might not be for you.
But I'm just giving you that disclaimer. So all right, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the theme for Owlcrate's March adult fantasy was Defy the Dark. And then let's read this together. Defy the Dark, The Warm Hands of Ghosts by Catherine Arden. Laura Ivan, a former Medical Corps field nurse, has returned home to Halifax, Canada, when she receives word of her brother Freddie's death in combat on the fields of Flanders. Yet something doesn't feel right about this news. Laura can't help but wonder if something more sinister is at play. Battling through grief and suspicion, Laura returns to Belgium in search of answers, where ghosts walk amongst the living once again and where nothing is as it seems. So I'm so excited for this one. Just really quickly, what the Owlcrate edition offers: exclusive cover design, reversible dust jacket, foil case design, foiled end papers, signed by the author. Oh my God. I love author signatures in books. Sprayed edges, bound author letter, and bonus content bound into the book. Oh. So if you were not aware, just from that short synopsis of the story, this is a historical fantasy fiction novel. So we follow our main character, Laura, who, as described, is a nurse in the war and then ends up trying to discover what happens to her brother, because she doesn't really believe that he just passed away. And in doing so, she stumbles into kind of like this paranormal fantasy world of being able to communicate or talk to and see ghosts. So I'm super excited about this. I was going to try to read it for the month of April, and I just now got it. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to fit this on my April TBR like originally planned, but I have been craving a historical novel. I love classic books, classic novels, but I'm also such a fantasy girly at heart that the blend of a historical fantasy was something I didn't realize I needed in my life until I read my first one. And honestly, I am so excited about incorporating this into at least one of my monthly TBRs, if not April, probably May. And also I've heard really good things about the story in general, so I'm super excited. Also, as I mentioned last month in the unboxing, I always forget that Owlcrate does this, and I love it so much. They have a Spotify playlist that you can scan the QR code and pull the playlist up and listen. If you like a lot of ambiance when you're reading, you can pull the Spotify playlist up and listen to it alongside the book. I think it is such a great touch. Again, something that goes above and beyond, in my opinion, in the Owlcrate subscription. I feel like they put so much thought and so much care into their books. I love the subscription box personally. So without further ado, let's go ahead and crack into the book. I'm gonna get this out. Okay. Oh. All right. Well, okay, I got that. That was a struggle, more than I had expected. Okay, we've got packing paper. Forgot about that little detail about the packaging. And then let's go ahead and open the plastic on the book. I've got my scissors. And again, doing this on camera, is that ever a good idea? I don't know. It's hard to say. Again, I am an adult woman. Handling sharp objects is not my forte, really depending on the day of the week. But there we go. Okay, just slightly cut open because I don't want to do any damage to my brand new, beautiful edition. And I think beautiful is an understatement. Oh, man. Look at that. Look at it. Ah, I'm in love. I don't know if we can pick this one up on the camera. It's kind of dark. I'm going to get out of the... Can't see the edge that much, but the back and the front, absolutely stunning. So I'm going to put the original cover somewhere on the screen so you can see the difference, because this is a completely special edition cover. It looks totally different than the original, and it's hard to pick up on camera, but there is foiling on this cover as well, so you can kind of see that there. So within the matte cover, there's just like this beautiful foil detail that just shines right off of the cover. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. All right, well, so since I'm talking about the dust jackets, and if you watched my last video, you know I made like a really big deal about the dust jackets. I'm like, oh, reversible dust jacket, it's fine. Like, I don't need it. I don't care. And then I got one and I was like, well, now I want all of them to be reversible. Why is that not a thing? Oh, I love it. Look at this. Look at that character art. And also, like, look at this detail. Look at this, like, little devil playing the fiddle. I feel like this book is going to be much darker than I'm realizing. I think it's going to be like, kind of like a dark paranormal fantasy. It's going to have romance in it. I don't know if it actually has romance in it, but I wouldn't hate it. I would not hate that for me, you know? Okay, let's go on to the book. This is matte. Like, there's a grip on the book. And then the beautiful foiling on the cover itself. The back, the blessed forget and the damned remember. Oh, again, is this giving you dark vibes? Like, darker than I would have imagined. Let's check out the end papers. Oh my gosh. Just stunning. So there's clearly some musical elements to the story that I don't know what that represents yet, but with the dust jacket and then everything on the end papers, we've got musical instruments. I would imagine there's some form of music involved with the story, which I think is really cool. I love a touch like that, and also makes me even more curious about that Spotify playlist as well. Again, it's an ambiance. It brings something to the story. Like, this is a historical setting during like a war period. I want to feel that when I'm reading, that like what that music can bring to the vibe of the book. A stunning author letter, and then look at that. Author signature. There might not be anything that makes me happier than an author's signature in a book. Last month I went into it and I teared up about it a little bit because I just do that now. Listen, emotions are running high, okay? I am slightly unhinged at all times. That's just the way I live my life. And really it just keeps me and everybody around me on their toes. So that's what I bring to the table. Charisma. But I am not gonna lie, out of all of the things, so if I couldn't get a subscription, if I couldn't get a special edition, if I found, even in a secondhand bookstore, a used bookstore, a copy of a book that had an author's signature in it, that to me is above and beyond anything I could ask for in a book. I clearly love reading to an extent where I feel so much through the pages of someone's story that the fact that they not only created the story for me to fall into, but that I have like another personal touch of theirs, like physically from them, they put their mark on that book. I think it is such a great touch whenever you can get an author's signature on a book. That's my favorite part. My favorite part. All right, we're gonna put this dust jacket back on. That was absolutely stunning. I'm so excited to read this one. Again, historical fantasy. It's something that really just kind of like fulfills something within me that I didn't know that I was missing for a long time, and I'm super into it. Let's move on to our next box. We are going to hit Illumicrate, one of my favorites. Of course, I say that because I am clearly a fan of these subscription boxes because I am a part of them, but Illumicrate box. I love seeing this when it comes to my door. It's like you can see it from a mile away. I get so excited about this like bright orange box and this little white eye. It's simple. It's beautiful. I love it. I love it. And now we move onward to opening the book. Oh, and I forgot. Okay. So I am somewhat prepared. Let me lower this a little bit. They don't put a card in their box for what they're like a theme card. So I'm going to pull it up on Instagram. I saved it so that we could quickly review it together. So we can go over what the theme was for the month and the synopsis of the book. Can you see? The packing maybe is not necessary. I don't know. They're very well wrapped. Okay. Illumicrate. March 2024 theme was Fantasy, S-E-A. Journey under the sea where the kelp grows tall and green to find fantastical treasures unseen. March Illumicrate book is an adult fantasy debut. In a half-flooded city, humans live alongside creatures of the water. As 3 different women, a half-siren, an aristocratic water dragon, and a sea witch are caught up in a game of right and wrong, peace and unrest, and life and death, they must decide whether the city is worth saving or whether it should be left to drown. Illumicrate exclusive edition is a royal hardback and features an exclusive cover, full color printing on the hardback, digitally printed foredge, sprayed top and bottom edge, illustrated end papers, signed by the author. Thank you. And bonus content. Adult fantasy debut. First a new duology. Okay, with the paper. I can't. You know how I feel about duologies. They are my favorite things in this world. This is going to be duology. Exclusive cover, full color printing on the hardback, male-female main relationship, POC viewpoint characters. Oh, East and Southeast Asian inspired world, diverse queer identities. I love this. I love this for me. Oh, beautiful. Now moving on to the book itself. Set this box aside. Oh my gosh. Okay, again, here we go with the scissors. We're gonna find the best area to do this because I'm telling you what, if I messed up my own special edition book because I can't get my together, I would be very upset with myself. All right, plastic. Remove. This one is like on there. Okay. And March Illumicrate, because I don't think I actually said it in the theme card, is Fathom Folk by Eliza Chan. Look at this stunning. Look at the colors. Oh, stunning book. Look at the back. Look at this detail. Like, you have to actually look at it for a second. We see the octopus, the waves, this East Asian inspired artwork. Oh my. So I was very excited about this one. I am going to say, and I'm being honest about this, I was on the Illumicrate waitlist for quite a while. I want to say like 4 or 5 months. And the entire time I was like, man, if they accept me, if they send me the email, I don't know if I'm going to accept, because sometimes I don't love the picks that they choose. I don't always love their books, and that's just me being honest. The best part about Illumicrate specifically, their specific subscription box, is they have unlimited skips. Don't ask me how it works, but once you get on their subscription, you can skip whatever box you want as many times as you want without having to come off of the subscription. And that to me was like sold, because I like that they are very clearly saying like, hey, we get it. We put a lot of thought and research into the books that we pick and the artists that we use for our artwork and everything that goes behind this, but it's not going to be everybody's cup of tea. We want you to still be part of our subscription, but that doesn't mean you're going to love everything we do. And that to me was brilliant, because then I was like, no questions asked, put me on that list. And then I am more willing to give you my money for the months that I do want. And I don't know, I really appreciate that about Illumicrate. And clearly their books are stunning. So back to this book. Sorry, I went kind of on a tangent there, but can you look at these edges? Wow. And it goes kind of onto the top, onto the bottom. The colors that are coming out of this book are just out of this world. Holy moly. Okay, I'm going to remove this very quickly and very gently. And we're going to look at the actual book itself. Again, with the colors and the detail. This is one I could totally see myself like looking at it. Every time I would look at it, seeing something new that I haven't seen the last time. So beautiful. Love it. Oh my gosh. All right, let's look at these end pages. Again, with the character art and the colors. Like, this is giving me everything that I have been wanting recently. And let me go into that. Okay, there's the back. So, again, you get to skip Illumicrate boxes if it's a pick that they've done that you don't really have interest in reading. And again, I think that's fair. This is my money. My money is important to me. I also am like limited on space, like most of us, when it comes to storing books or having physical copies of things. So I am going to be picky about what I spend my money on. I've recently been craving, and I don't know why, it's come out of nowhere, some sort of like water, the sea, the ocean, pirates, mermaids, you name it. I want something water related in my life. And when I saw that this was one of their books, I was like, bingo, baby, this is why I put my name on that list. This is why I do that subscription, because they will come in clutch for me when I am ready. It's like they knew. They were like, you know, that one girl in the Midwest that we let on that list, she is ready. And we are ready for her. Oh, let's look at the inside too. Look at me forgetting already what we have in store. Okay, so author signature. And then also some sort of stamp, or I don't know, like again, Asian inspired characters. That is so lovely. Oh. And this is a debut novel, so I am really excited about this. Debut, duology, underwater, mermaids. It's giving. It's giving what Lori Beth has truly wanted for a very long time. Oof, so excited, so excited. Okay, let's get this one back together. Quick. It's important to stay hydrated. You are amazing, you are beautiful, but have you had water today? That's what I am asking of you. All right, final box. And it is the mother box, the mother of all boxes, if you will. Fairyloot baby. It's that thick girl that we talk about. She thick? Oh yeah, look at that. And just like I love the Illumicrate box for its minimalistic design, I love Fairyloot for the exact opposite of that, which is also why I love Fairyloot. There's just always something beautiful and swirly and eye-catching when it comes to Fairyloot, and I love it. Again, I am on the combo box for Fairyloot. So I started with the young adult Fairyloot. I was on it for like a month, and then I think a month later they emailed me inviting me to join the combo subscription box, and I immediately jumped on it because, as history has shown, Fairyloot has the most picks of their monthly books that I have been interested in across all of them. Not to say that there are sometimes picks that I wouldn't have chosen for myself, but again, these teams do a lot of work and a lot of research, and I will say I have been pleasantly surprised by books that I would not have chosen for myself that have come in a subscription box, so I do appreciate that as well. You are also allowed to skip a certain amount of Fairyloot subscriptions. I think it's only like 4 or 5 a year, and if you have a combo box, you cannot skip one and get the other. So you can't skip like the adult one and get the young adult one. You have to either skip both or receive both. So that does kind of stink. I'm hoping that maybe eventually they'll update that to where you can maybe skip one and the other. And I don't think I mentioned it for Owlcrate either, but you can do a certain amount of skips with Owlcrate. Not as much as Illumicrate, but more than Fairyloot, I believe. But with that being said, Fairyloot's work is just out of this world, okay? I think I waited about 6 or 7 months. No, I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. 7 or 8 months to get on this list, and it has been worth it. Absolutely stunning work done by them. And also just the quality of it. And I'm going to go into that as we open the box. So this is great because I've already opened the box. But we don't have to do any plastic on these books, which I appreciate. And when I was talking about quality, this is one of the things, I'm going to put this down, so one book at a time. Not only do you get a very solid box that the book comes in, the books come in these little bags that just kind of give it like just a little something extra. I don't know what it is about these bags, but it makes me feel like my money was well spent on this book or the subscription. So I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and remove the bag, and I am going to look for that card. All right, Fairyloot Young Adult Subscription Box, March 2024, Heists and Hustles, A Tempest of Tea by Hafsa Faisal. Our featured book of the month is A Tempest of Tea. Set in a rich reimagining of 1920s London, our main character and her fellow misfits navigate their way through a tangled web of heists and conspiracies in a dark vampire underworld. Get ready for an enemies to lovers romance, secret vampire societies, and of course, tea. Your Fairyloot exclusive edition has an exclusive redesigned cover, digitally sprayed 4-edge, solid sprayed edges on top and bottom, a foil design on the hardcover, artwork on the end papers, and bonus content and a digitally signed author letter bound into the book. So there is the theme card for the young adult. Without further ado, the book itself. Oh my god. Look at it. So beautiful. Again, can we talk about the colors? This month's theme is orange. Well, orange, pink, blue. Kind of like the beautiful, very saturated colors. And this cover has, sorry, there we go. I'm trying to catch it in the light. So you can see the foiling, and it goes all the way down onto the bottom and the picture on the front. And then along the back edges as well. There we go. And these stunning sprayed edges. Oh my gosh. Look at that design. Just digging the orange. These are like sunset vibes. I love it. I love it so much. And also super excited to read this book because I think we've seen, if you are a bookish girly, if you are in the book world, there's like this influx of vampires coming back around. It feels like we really, really hit it hard in like our Twilight era, and we were like, okay, that was good. Like we had vampires for a minute, and now we need to take a breather from that. But it seems like we've got like this, it's coming back, like the things that I wore in middle school are now back at Target. So you know how things work. That's how the trends flow. But this book, again, has like a historical vibe to it because it's set in the 1920s. We're talking about a tea house and a cast of misfits, which is one of my favorite tropes in a book. It's very Six of Crows, but with like a little more fantasy on the like fantasy creatures world and not just like magic involved. So I was so drawn to this story. I like that it is a kind of a cover story as well. So it's like a tea house that this girl runs by day, and at night there's some like seedy underworld stuff happening, but not just with people, with vampires too. So let's take a look. Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, look at the inside cover again with that foiling. There it goes all the way down. Oh, girl. Beautiful. It's on the back as well. I'm going to go ahead and remove this so that we can look at the... My gosh. Again, stunning foiling, perfectly done. I love the teacup. I love the colors. So pretty. And let's take a look at these end papers as well. I just love me some character art, I love it. I love seeing beautiful people. I love having a little reference when I start reading a story. Sometimes, I need a little hope when they're describing characters and I'm like, I just can't put my finger on what this chick looks like. She sounds beautiful. Boom. I can reference my end pages. So exciting. I have not read anything by this author. Again, I have heard very good things about this story. So I'm really excited. And it's got a romance in it. Because again, I just, I might be slightly dead inside, but I'm not completely made of stone. So I like a little something. A little something. Okay, no one told me that there was gonna be a map in here. What? Oh, we love a map, girl. We love a map. It's awesome. I love it so much. And I'll give you a sneak peek at the author letter as well, just so you can kind of see that digital signature. Absolutely gorgeous. I cannot wait to get to this one. I originally had this on my April TBR as well, I believe. It's a tad shorter, so I might be able to squeeze this one in. If not, I'll probably push it out to May. But I'm kind of feeling like a YA novel would be really good to kind of break up what I have been reading in April thus far. So we'll see. We'll see where the month takes us. All right, that leaves us with one more book. One more Fairyloot book, which is the Adult Fairyloot. And again, that very cool protective bag that it comes in, which makes it just feel like kind of cool, special, Alrighty. The Fairyloot Adult Box, March 2024, is Swan Lake. And the book in this box is A Feather So Black by Lyra Celine. Discover a hidden gate to the Fae realm and join Fia, a changeling turned spy, in her efforts to bring back a stolen princess who is cursed to turn into a swan by day. Everything is made more complicated by an accompanying prince and a gradually growing suspicion that the truth of her mission may be different than it seemed. Your Fairyloot exclusive edition has an exclusive redesigned cover, alternate colorway of the trade cover on the reverse dust jacket. No, you didn't, Fairyloot. Digitally sprayed edges on all three edges. Artwork on the end papers with foil on the hardcover. Bonus content, author letter bound into the book, and a digital signature. So, when I was talking about books that I would, oh, sorry. Let me show you the theme card. All right. So again, when I was talking about books that I would not have maybe picked for myself, but a subscription box had kind of made me step out of my comfort zone, this was one of them. Although I liked the sound of it, like I can read the synopsis of a story and I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty good, but will I spend my money on it? That kind of just depends. So I wait for some reviews and some of my, fellow booktubers or my Bookstagram friends and see what their thoughts and opinions on something are. But there was something drawing me to this, and not only just because it was an option in my subscription box, but again, I liked the idea of kind of like a task-oriented plot, where our main characters have to complete a task or they're going to be thwarted in the middle of a task, and along the way they meet characters and develop relationships and romances. And I don't know, I just like that. Sometimes it's a very satisfying fantasy to read. And that's what drew me to this. And just kind of like that whole, again, there's a little bit of water involved. There's a water animal, like the swan and the I don't know. I was just very drawn to the book, is what I'm saying. Well, without further ado, let me show you what the book looks like. I mean, again, what is it with the colors this month? Look at that foil. You see it shine all the way down onto this beautiful, stunning picture. This woman in the middle of the lake. Again, with the water. I'm just here for it. And come on, just look at that. All the way on all three edges. Like, how beautiful. Oh, I love it. And I also kind of love this like light and dark theme. Like that's maybe part of the story as well. Like good versus evil, light versus dark. So we've got like our dark colored character on the front, light colored character on the back. Let's go ahead and crack this open. Oh, and reversible dust jacket, which your girl loves at this point in time, because I won't stop talking about them now. Let's take a look. Oh, wow. Just beautiful. Look at that. I think it said this was an alternate colorway to the original, which I think is really kind of cool. I love, I think there's something to that, and I don't ever want to discount that by getting special edition boxes. I think that the work that goes behind like original cover art is very important, and probably very important to the author, I would imagine, as well. So I think it's cool to sometimes represent both, like you get a little bit of both. That's my personal opinion. But let's go into the book without the dust jacket on. So look at that foiling again. I love the moon and the stars. Holy cow. So pretty. Very excited about this one. All right, and into our end papers. Again, with these colors of this, like the month of March was color. Like we were ready for spring. We were like, give us the blues, the oranges, the sunsets, the water. We love it. Oh, man. And they're always just so gorgeous. Like these characters are they're pretty. I love them. They're so pretty. Author signature on the inside. Let's see if there's, and the author letter. Very cool. Look at that typed up letter. Quite long. So we're not going to spend too much time on it. But I actually do always read the author letters, and I think, again, those are important to read as well. I think that along with the signature from an author, right, that's them putting their little mark on something, reading an author letter is personal. They're like, hey, thank you for supporting me. I support you. Like, I like that. Readers supporting readers. Bookish people supporting bookish people. Like, that's just all we need. That's the love we need in this world. I fully support it. And that was it, you guys. That was all of the books that I got for my March subscription boxes. That included Owlcrate Adult, Illumicrate, and Fairyloot combo box of young adult and adult. Every single item was absolutely stunning. As always, I have to give credit to the people on these teams. I will say there is so much thought and so much care that goes into each and every one of these books, no matter what subscription box you end up on. The artists that help with the artwork on the end papers, the printers that help with printing all these special editions, and then the teams that work at these companies as well. So the Fairyloot, Illumicrate, Owlcrate teams. I know that they are still very small companies, and that to me is also something really exciting to support. Bookish people doing bookish things. Again, I love to love it. I love to see it. Keep in mind, these are just the subscription boxes that I have subscriptions to. There are plenty of options out there. So if you like things that are more romance driven, more horror driven, more dark, more fairy, there's an option out there for everyone. So do your research, go out there, poke around on Bookstagram, see what you are drawn to, and see what the guidelines or the terms for these subscription boxes are. These were the ones that I personally wanted to be a part of. I love all the work that they have done, as history has shown, and that's what drove me to personally sign up for these specific boxes. With that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me on my second unboxing video. These are so fun to do. These are genuine reactions. I haven't really opened the books or looked at them. I try to stay away from spoilers online so that I can give you my true and genuine reactions on camera. As always, if you liked this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button because it always helps a girl out. And if you want to make sure you don't miss any of my other upcoming videos, like my monthly TBR videos, my wrap-ups, or my vlogs that I release on a weekly basis where I spend time reading through these books with you guys, going along the journey with me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button too. I want to know if you have read any of the books that have come in my subscription boxes. What were your thoughts and opinions on those books? Or do you belong to any subscription boxes? Let me know what those are in a comment down below. As always, it has been an absolute blast, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one.